Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram to one and all. Once again, after the successful of the 3 show, here we came back with the very special show on our Heritage Day. When I was in India, in Indian flag, the saffron color represent the spirituality. And the same when I joined, and the green is a peace. When I joined South Africa, the 2 color again was there in part of flag. This how I feel somehow the South African and the Indian culture are joined, or they are one. Also, 24th is a Heritage Day. In our scriptures, 24th is very, very auspicious number. Akshar 24 param punita inme base shastra shruti gita shashwat sato guni satrupa satya sanatan sudhanupa. All the scriptures essence where are in the number 24, 24. Not taking long. Today, as our customary, I ask Guru Gopal Bhai Vyas to do the opening prayer for today's program.
Om Krishnaya Vasudevaya Haraye Paramatmane Pranata Kleshanashaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Namo Ganebhyo Ganapadivyascha Namo Namo Vratebhyo Vratapatibhyascha Namo Namo Gritsabhyo Gritsapatibhyascha Namo Namo Virupyabhya Vishwarupatibhyascha Namaha Hari Om. To fellow South African and all our DharmaSamvad viewers and devotees, as today we are celebrating Heritage Day. Heritage means care. What exactly inherited in our culture, in our tradition, with scripture-based experience, and that is we celebrate. Wearing the Indian cloth, and I always says, keep the language alive. Any kind of the language, Gujarati, Hindi, Tamil, Telugu, Malayali, we should keep our language alive, at least in our house. And more important is, let us celebrate Heritage Day every day, because our culture, our tradition is so big to understand, not only to understand, but to live with it. It takes years and years. And I wish all my Tamil viewers who are celebrating the Puratasi, so today's show, to understand about this spiritual importance of this divine month. So let us begin with our main event and celebrate all our spiritual journey, all our spiritual power, and uplift our inside power which is God, means ke Bhagwan, has given all of us. I'm going to hand over to the Kirit Bhai, and then from there we will start our next level of the show. Thank you. Jai Shri Krishna.
Namaste, Gopal Bhai. Thank you. So we priest always talk about the law of karma, and here with the law of karma, there is a law of the land. Today is our program on Purtassi, Gopal Bhai, on our
Yes,
Heritage Day. What's a brilliant subject to choose by the DharmaSamvad team, that we talk about the heritage of our Tamil community. And when I said we talk about the law of karmas, we talk about law of the land. And here today our convener is no one else but one who studying the law of the land is the Jashmika Kistan, is a first year law student, Gopal Bhai.
okay,
It was a thought of the Dharma Samvad team that we get someone very young, who have curiosity, who have that bhav to understand what other culture in the Hinduism, like a Gujarati or Hindi or Tamil, like that. And that's how the Jashmika came forward, very young and very talented beta.
very good.
She loves environment, and also she do the community seva for the elderly people. As you and me always emphasize, the youngster go in a community and do seva, elderly people, senior people. That's how you learn and you get the blessing as well. She also took part in GBV, the Gender Active Program, recently rising awareness in on abuse in SA. So not taking long, I ask our team to bring our very young beta, Shri Jashmika Kistan.
Namaste, Vanakkam, and Namaskaram,
Namaskaram.
and welcome to Dharma Samvad. As Pandit Ji said, today is Heritage Day in our new South African democracy. It is a vibrant and special day that is to celebrate our different cultures. So, in light of this important day, we learn about Purtassi from Guru Sivaraman and Bhai Raj Pillai. Our first guest, Guru Sivaraman, is well known in the Hindu community. He is a qualified astrologer and is also the spiritual head of the Sri Karumariamman temple in Lenasia. He studied Tamil at the Annamalai University and has written many books in Tamil and English. Vanakkam, Guruji.
Vanakkam.
We are also joined by Brother Raj Pillai, who is the president of the South African Tamil movement. He is from the Sri Parvatayaman Koval in Germiston, and he has worked for many years in the Hindu community in terms of language, culture, and education in our Dharma. Vanakkam, Rajbhai.
Vanakkam to you, Jasmika, all the viewers.
The month of Puratasi, mid-September to mid-October, is dedicated to the worship of Mahavishnu, the preserver, who is symbolic of the transcendent state of Ananda. In the Holy Trinity, Trimurti, of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the preserver is Vishnu. It is the period of the year in which Hindus pay homage to Lord Vishnu. As such, the Divine Mother, in her aspect of sustenance, is also worshipped. Therefore, our worship is thanksgiving to Mother Nature, Bhumi Mata, for preservation. Preservation is a divine attribute which embraces many aspects of our life, to which we invoke Vishnu as Emperumal, Govinda, Venkateshwara, etc. It was in this month of Puratasi that Lord Vishnu, in the form of Sri Venkatachala Balaji, came to earth to guide people and left his form in the Tirupati valleys in India. Therefore, people from all parts of the world flock to India to pay homage to Tirupati to get a glimpse of the divine form by taking vows to overcome their problems. That being said, let's get onto some questions. Our first question is for Guru. Why is Lord Vishnu worshipped during this time?
Namaskaram, Jessica. The Puratasi month is the sixth month in the Tamil almanac, and it falls in the months of September to October. This month is one of the most auspicious months, which is dedicated to Lord Venkateshwara. That is the form of Lord Vishnu. And this month is so auspicious that it falls on a full moon day. The two nakshatram, Puratadi and Uttaratadi nakshatram, are the names given after Puratasi. So therefore, the Lord Venkateshwara has descended on earth in the form of Lord Vishnu in the month of Puratasi to preserve the universe at in the Kali Yugam stage and also save the universe from the monsoon floods. So in Tirupati, if you go to Tirupati, as you said, thousands of devotees flock to Tirupati and worship, get a glimpse of Venkateshwara for a few seconds. That means the Tirupati or Tirumala Venkateshwara is found on the hilltops. Why on the hilltops? Because to save the people or to save the crops and to save the people, giving them shelter and giving them food to eat, which was vegetarian in particular was available. So therefore, a lot of people go to Tirupati during the Puratasi month in particular. So the Puratasi month is so auspicious to give thanks to Lord Venkateshwara or Lord Vishnu or Balaji, as is known in the state of Andhra, to pay homage to him and also to give a lot of alms to poor people or community. That is how the Puratasi month was born.
Thank you, Guru. Our next question is for Rajbai. Which flags are hoisted during this auspicious time?
Welcome to viewers again once more. My name is Raj Pillai. I'm from the South African Tamil movement. I'm the president of the movement, and my deputy is Rajan Davanda. Jasmika, during this holy month of Purtassi, we host the flag during this month, which is got the divine eagle. The divine eagle is the transportation for Lord Vishnu. So the Garuda flag will be hosted in the month of Pattasi in all the Perumal Sami temples. The hosting of the flag also symbolizes the start of the fast. So it's awareness for the people to start fasting and obeying the rules and the regulations to keep the fast for Lord Vishnu. But I also want to elaborate on another subject. Now, we will find in the local communities that, especially in the Tamil speaking and the Telugu speaking community, you will find also during this time of the month, the should I say, the devotees will now host flags for Hanuman. And because it is said in the scriptures that the Tamil community will offer prayer to any form of the 10 Devastarans. And Narayana himself during this month, one of the forms is Lord Ram. And we all know that Hanuman is a very big bhakti for Lord Ram. So we notice that also during this time, the Tamil and the Telugu community also will host a flag for Hanuman. And it's because of the victory that Hanuman got over the demon himself, the victory, the flag that was given by himself by Indra. So during this time of Partasi, we will see in the local community a flag being hosted for Hanuman. Also, because of the fast and the prayer that we're keeping for Paramansami, they will also host a flag for Paramansami. And thirdly, some of the devotees will also host a flag for Lord Shiva. This has been acceptable in the community for as long as I know. So I just wanted the public to know that it is nothing new for the community to also host these flags during this period. But the main flag for Purtassi will be the divine eagle for Lord Vishnu. Thank you.
That's very interesting. Thank you, Rajbhai. So, again, Rajbhai, what is the name of the deity and his consorts that is taken out in the street processions during this time? And also, why is this done?
Okay, Jasmika and viewers, it is very interesting to know that this will change from temple to temple, depends who is the presiding deity in that particular temple. Depending on what type of temple of Narayana is present. For example, you may have a Vishnu temple where the form of Paramaswamy and his consort is only Mother Lakshmi. He has only one consort, Alomelu Thayare. So in this case, only one consort will be there. So when the Brahmotsavam is taking place, that is when now we say Brahmotsavam, and why we call it Brahmotsavam is because Brahma will be the charity of the third on which Narayana is going to reside during the time of this festival. The main deity, which is the Muliva deity, which is consecrated in the temple, will never be moved out of the shrine. It will either be the Vitrava Murti or the Tri Kalyana Murti. It is made out of brass or Panjalogam. These are the murtis that will be put on the chariot and be taken around the temple for the 10 days during the time. So what we need to understand is that once a murti is consecrated in a temple, it can never be moved out of that temple. So when we say Utsava Murti, from what I can understand, is that it's a murti that is used during the festivals. So this will be the murti that will be used to go around in the public. Now, during this period, Mahavishnu will be placed on the different vaganams. For example, he will be placed on the Garudan. He will also be placed on the Simba vaganam. He will also be placed on the Gaja vaganam. Normally, on the 10th day, Vishnu will go around in the district seated on the divine eagle. Majority of the temples where the Lord Venkateshwara or Balaji is the presiding deity, Lord Srinivasa will be accompanied by Sri Devi and Bhu Devi. In this case, Sri Devi, Lakshmi, Bhu Devi is Mother Earth. So again, Lord Srinivasa is the main Utsava Murti of the Tirupati temple itself. Sri Devi being Mother Lakshmi and Bhu Devi being Bhuma Devi, the mother of the earth or nature. So the preserver, with the mother of wealth and with the mother of the earth, will be taken around in the community for to glimpse of the Lord, to have a glimpse of the Lord. Vishnu, and also for the cripple or the old age, those people that cannot walk and go the long distance. We do not want those people, or the Lord does not want those people to be deprived. So by him coming to them, he is also giving them a chance to be blessed. So the atmosphere at that time, Jasmika, is very, very intense. It's a high mode of celebration because Lord Vishnu, during this time of Purtassi, it is a big vibe in India, and not only India, in South Africa, throughout the world. So when we are in present of something like this, the celebration, your emotion, your intensity is extremely high. However, I must put it forward to the listeners. This festival may vary from temple to temple depending on what the presiding deity is in that temple. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbhai. So, Guru, which are the religious texts that are used during this time?
During the month of Puratasi, even during the Ekadasi, the Tiruvona Nakshatram, that is the birth star of Venkateshwara. Ekadasi is a very auspicious Varatam or Varat that we abstain from rice, grains, etc. We only are doing puja. How are we doing puja and what texts are we using? Normally, in the villages in Andhra state, Tamil Nadu state, they use the Garuda Pattu. The Garuda Pattu is 10 verses. They read the Garuda Pattu and offer Mavalika, a lamb that's made out of flour. And they call his name while they're lighting the lamb to ask him to give protection to the earth, to its inhabitants, because he's preserver. He preserves the earth. As our Anna Raj said, he got Sri Devi, Lakshmi, Bhudevi. Bhudevi, Subaloga, Janaloga, Mahaloga, Tabaloga, Mahaloga, Tabaloga, Ye Namaha is Mahavishnu. So during this time, we also recite the Vishnu Sahasranama, the 1,000 names of Narayana or Venkateshwara. And this time, it is very, very auspicious to offer as much as flowers, rice or white rice mixed with manjal or turmeric powder and offer it at the padam of Venkateshwara. Continuous repetition of a mantram, Om Namo Venkateshaya Namaha, Om Namo Naraya Namaha, Om Govindaya Namaha, Om Kesavaya Namaha. Whatever you wish to repeat, thus namams are said in abundance to grace the Lord, to ask Him to intervene in all such problems that we may be undergoing. So during the Puratasi month, in particular, we are talking of Puratasi month, but monthly, the Tiruvona Nakshatram, that is the birth star of Venkateshwara, and Ekadasi, which is observed on a very, very high note in our Hindu community, Tamil community, Telugu community, and our Hindi, Gujarati community. Everybody goes to the Lord Vishnu or Narayana or Venkateshwara temples and get a glimpse of him by uttering this important word. The Tamil Garuda Pattu is a very, very auspicious and ancient text in Tamil because it has been given by Lord Narayana itself to the Munivars to repeat this and to call him to intervene in the problems that they were once undergoing in the very, very early stages of the Kali Yuga because of the drought, because of poverty, and they asked him to intervene in these problems, and he ascended. So he's taken Dasa Avatar, the 10 forms, the main 10 forms of Venkateshwara. He has taken it, and one was Parasurama, where he came and served the community, rich or poor. And he has, you know, in the Shastras, they say the repetition of a mantram will give you energy, will give you prosperity. So therefore, apart from the Garuda Pattu, many people cannot read it. They call priests or Vatyars to come forward and read this Garuda Pattu, especially when you're doing your Puratasi prayer on a Saturday. You start outside, you do your Ganapati Puja, and you start calling his name Govinda, Govinda, by reading every paragraph or stanza of the Garuda Pattu to welcome Nara in your house and to ask him to be a protective force in your home.
Thank you, Guru. So, in summary, what does the story symbolize?
The story symbolizes that Narayana has become a protective force. He has arrived from Garuda. Garuda Vaganaye Namaha. It is only on Garuda that he will be able to enter our homes, enter our town, enter our country. So the Garuda Pattu praises Narayana for being a savior for the society, for creation, since he is the preserver.
So, Rajbhai, what does the Naman, the dot, symbolized?
Jasmika, the Namam represents for all Vaishnavas, or should I say the devotees of Lord Vishnu. You'll find that the Namam, the white, is either in a U or V shape, represents the Lord's Vishnu's feet. And the red in the center represents Lakshmi. Basically, what does this mean is that we are not superior. We are not superior than the Lord. We must bow down. All our ego must go away from us, and we must surrender to Lord Vishnu, who is the preserver and the protector. Thank you.
We note that traditionally the prayers are observed on Saturdays, Rajbhai. Why is this?
Okay. Saturday is normally being favorable to conduct prayers for Lord Vishnu. It's favorable because the public and the community, they looked, as a Hindu, our life revolves around the positioning of planets. Now, on Saturdays, it is said that we are free of the influence of the planet Saturn. So all the negativities will not affect us, and that will not be there. So by worshiping Lord Vishnu on a Saturday, this will help us to remove all the negativities and replace it with the positives to give us the success in our life. Lord Vishnu will protect us against all the obstacles in our life. So Saturday is very auspicious, more especially because of Purtassi. But remember, our worshipping of Lord Vishnu does not only have to be done during the month of Purtassi or on a Saturday. We should be able to pick up our hands and worship the Lord every single morning, every single day. Because it's very, very, very important in today's life and what we are going through that we get the protection from Lord Vishnu. With the life that we are living, with the community, with the theft, with the danger that we are living, with the hijacking, with the murders, and we are living in a very dangerous societies. So we must always take his name every single morning that we will be protected. We must surrender our lives to Lord Vishnu every single morning before we leave our house. So definitely, not only Purtassi, not only Saturday, Lord Vishnu should be in your mind 24/7. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbhai. One last question for you before we continue to Guru. What would you say are the benefits of fasting during Puratasi?
Jasmika, the benefits are intense. Number one, let's look at it from a point of health. For us to abstain from all meat dishes, whether it's fish or meat or eggs, whatever, and keep a strict vegetable fast, we remove all the toxins in our body and all the unhealthy and unwanted products in our body. Now, health wise, there is a big benefit. But also at the same time, when we are keeping the fast for Paramasami, our mind must be focused, must be calm, so that when we go into meditation, when we go into prayer for Lord Paramasami, keeping the fast and keeping a vegetable fast helps us also. Also during this time, we have also keep to ourselves. When we say keep to ourselves, we try not to involve ourselves in worldly pleasures. Some of us even stick to our houses, minus our wives, minus our children, sleep on the floor, try to keep a very clean fast. For me, myself, you can see I didn't even shave because my guru said sometime when you shave, perhaps you'll drop a drop of blood, and that may not make you feel good. So it's very very beneficial. But in this time of Kali Yoga, it is so important that we get the protection from the preserver and the protector. So definitely we have to keep this fast. We have to adhere to this fast because what we will get from Lord Vishnu is happiness, health, wellness, joy, success, and also a longevity in internal life, ambition, also authority, wisdom, immense wealth, and also leadership skills. These are some of the benefits of fasting. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbhai. So, Guru, as a lead up to Navratri of the festival of 9 nights in dedication to the divine goddess, the Hindu way of life has always followed a logical pattern based on nature and the movement of the earth around the sun. Hindu Dharma, being a wisdom tradition, follows the cyclical pattern. Why is this so, and what impact does this have on us in South Africa?
Jasmika, not in South Africa, not only in South Africa, but throughout the world. After the 26th of December in 2019, the movement of the sun and moon and certain planets has had a drastic effect on our almanac. So this year in particular, the Mahalaya Pacham or Pitru Bhaksham has started before Purtassi, which was supposed to be in the Puratasi month. Navaratri is started one day after Purtassi finish. So the entire calculation of the moon and sun has affected us so drastically that it has moved our stars. The energy force have lost itself, and also if you take into consideration our present situation with the COVID-19, it has affected us drastically. Only yesterday was the Ragu and Ketu Paichi, the Ragu and Ketu transit. So they have moved, and hoping that will have a good effect even in our community, even on our financial progress, even in our spiritual life. A lot of things have changed during this time, and it has have a lot of impact. In actual fact, it has made it difficult for us to even observe Navaratri after Purtassi. In the Tamil community in particular, we are fasting for 30 days during Purtassi and thereafter another 9 days, inclusive of Vidya Dasami, which will be the 10 day. So it has in fact impact, but as my Anna Raj said, fasting helps our body to detox ourselves. It helps us discipline ourselves, even spiritually, and we get to fast even more during this time. Jessica?
Thank you, Guruji. So, Rajbhai, climate change is a huge concern to humanity. Moreover, there is destruction to our ecosystem. Why is it important to reflect upon our commitment to Mother Earth?
Jasmika, like Guru was saying, he's very learned in astrology. And as he said, because of what is happening on this earth, the human is destroying the Mother Earth. And because of all this interferences by human being, it's been affecting the planets, the movement of the planets to position themselves. And as a result, as I said earlier on, as a Hindu, our lives surround planets. Depending on how the planets are positioned, those planets will affect our lives. Some of us will even, it's so called a bad luck prayer that we do on 9 Saturdays, is because the planets are not looking favorable upon us. So, to overcome those obstacles, we find that we need to conduct a prayer so that our lives will be more favorable, will be more enjoyable and successful. But what I can say, the commitment that as a human being, that at living this earth, God put us onto this earth, and God has expected us to look after our environment. But we as human beings, we are not doing that. We are destroying this earth. We need to go back and start looking at the things that we are doing, destroying Amma Bhuma Devi. Amma Bhuma Devi is also so upset with the way we are treating the earth. For instance, a few years ago, when we had that massive tsunami, it was also said by some gurus and swamis that Amma is so upset and angry. Perhaps she is the one that did this, that gave this big tsunami to clean up the dirt and to purify this earth so that we can live a good life. We are not acknowledging what God has given to us. And as a human being, even in the scriptures, if you read, they are saying that man will destroy himself. And it's going to come to that, Jasmika, because man has gone and done things to this earth that should have not. For instance, mining. We find that diamonds are there, gold is there. But as a human being, the greed, our greed for wealth has gone so vast and so intense that now we want to go and dig the earth and take out something from the earth. What it's going to do, one of the day, I live in Johannesburg. There is a lot of mines around in Johannesburg. And I was told that even underneath my house where I live, it's a hollow place. And if the ground shakes a lot, we're all going to fall into a hole. So we as human beings, we are destroying this earth. We need to look at the earth and respect Amma Bhuma Devi and make sure that we give her the praise what she deserves. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbai. It's incredibly sad to see how humans have destroyed this earth. Guruji, what are some of the practical measures that we can take during this time? And how can Purtassi help us lead a better life, especially in light of COVID 19?
I wish every day was a Purtassi day. I wish every day was a Purtassi day because it is not only Purtassi or the Puratasi man that has to make a change for humans to live, to change for the better. We need to understand important issues happening right by our doorstep. We follow our traditions coming from India. What are we doing in South Africa? We need to be more assertive. We need to be more disciplined. We need to become even more spiritual. That is going to help us curb the problem that we are undergoing at the moment. So, what I suggest, Jasmika, and with due respect to my brother here, is that our youth need to become more involved in spiritual activities. They need to understand certain important issues that is being given to us by Narayana himself, by Lord Shiva himself. The Shastras in Hinduism, the Shastras speaks oceans to us. Are we following our traditions? Today is a very auspicious day for us. It's a heritage day in South Africa, not all over. But we have to respect our heritage, we have to respect our culture, we have to respect our language. We need to go to the temples, the mandirs, the alayams to understand certain issues that's been done or practiced as far as rituals and ceremonies concerned. We need to understand the practicality behind these rituals and ceremonies. These weren't just created by us. It's scientific. It's scientific. Science is even becoming more polluted. It's even affecting the earth even more further. So, my humble suggestion to our fellow South Africans is to get more involved in community service, in spiritual services, so that we can understand certain important values placed in our society that we live in. And I think I'm quite certain that if we go to our temples, not only when we have problems, then we want to open all kinds of sastras. That is not so. What is more important is to go and give yourself to the temple. You don't need to be in fruits and flowers and all. But the mere fact, even if you have to take a broom and sweep out the temple yard alone, is the biggest seva anybody can do. It's free. There's no economic situation there. What I'm saying is, and I pray for this, I hope it comes very soon, especially in this COVID-19 times. People have changed their mindset of thinking. People have even become more spiritual because they have got time. So I'm only asking 5 minutes of your time in a day, just to pick up your hand, to come, to do something that is good. And when you do something good, it will bring some good rewards to you. And from you doing good, it will benefit the entire community. If the community is good, it will benefit entire the society. And the country will be more healthy also. That's my answer, Yashvika.
I think you brought up some very important issues. I also like how you mentioned the youth in your answer, Guruji. So our final question of today's segment, which is posed to both Rajbhai and Guruji, is what are some of the messages that can be sent to the youth during this time? Rajbhai, can we start with you?
Thank you, Jasmika. Jasmika, let's go back to the scriptures where it says Mata, Pita, Guru Deva. Now, respect your mother and father, respect your guru, and last is Devam. Now, I may be challenged on this, but my understanding is this, then the way I was brought up, is that respect your mother and father because they have brought you onto this earth. Respect your guru because without your guru, you'll have no knowledge. And God last. But again, why God last? Because every single day we are striving to reach God realization. And with the common life that we live, it is very, very difficult to reach God realization. Guru that is sitting in the studio, it's not an easy life to live as a guru. There is certain protocols, there are certain rules and regulations you need to comply by. And I was also told by my gurus, leave that job to us. You concentrate on praying and getting to to God realization. But coming back also to Heritage Day today, Jasmika, without celebrating our ancestors, our endangered laborers that came from India, what heritage would we have had? And they brought along the culture, the religion, the worship. So, first of all, today, yes, it is Heritage Day for us in South Africa. But we must also take time to remember how, as South African Indians in the Hindu community, had attained and got this heritage from who? It was our forefathers, not only them, even up to now, our educated priests that come from India, that is passing on the heritage to our South Africans, that are teaching us and are keeping us to do the prayer and all other functions in our community. Now, with children today, we have found that children are stepping away from temple activity. They are gone on the wrong path. You know, it is always said good children come from good home, bad children come from bad home. That is not so. It is my belief that nothing happens to good children, but bad things happen to good children. So sometimes our youth go down a wrong step. But we cannot throw them away. Those are still our children. We must find every single way to change the life of our youth and bring them back to society. We need to teach them the wrong from the right. Also, if you look at a lot of temples in the area, I've noticed it, and like I said, I am from the Sri Parvatama Kovil in Germiston. It is a public temple. It is built on my property, and it has been built by my family members. But we have opened the door out to the public. And the reason for doing this, my mom is 98 years old, and it is a desire to build a Amma's temple. But the main reason behind this is this. I got fed up going temple to temple and getting involved in politics, whereby the temple, either the board members or whatever members stop you from doing this, stop you from doing this, you cannot do this, you cannot do that. For me, I believe if your mind, your heart, your body, your soul is clean, and if you go before whichever deity, you will definitely be in, your prayers will be accepted. So, to do away with the politics, I believe that all temples in South Africa should give space to the youth. Put them now on the platform, not underneath the platform. We have even sometimes, you go to the temples on a Sunday morning and you go for satsang. It's the old people that want to grab the mic and carry on singing, not giving the youngsters a chance to be active in this. Now, there are a few temples that have now hand over the reins to younger generation. And if we can get younger generation involved, this is what we are going to see. We're going to see a new system, a new life. Because if we can get our children involved in the temples, they will know that we have an important place to play in society, in spiritual level, and they will keep themselves out of the street because we cannot. And also, organizations like mine, the South African Tamil Movement, and also I'm challenging all other movements, is to do something for our youth. Get our youths involved in some kind of play therapy, get something going for them so they can be occupied mentally and physically. Because if the mind of the youngster is not occupied, he's definitely going to go and do something wrong. So, if you travel from Lenasia to Lodium to Benoni, we get these underlying areas. And it is sad to see some of our people, our youngsters, what they've become. And it is because we as the community are not giving them enough to do. But more especially, I am now saying to the temples of South Africa, bring in our youngsters, give them a place on the platform. Let's not throw them away. And let's make sure, and they must feel that they are wanted in the community and they are wanted in the temple. Remember, our old people in the temples cannot last forever, Jasmika. Their time is going to expire. But why not use the time now to teach our youngsters on the right way? So when those old people expire, in a sense that they want to step down, we have youngsters now to step into those shoes and take over the reins. We are not going to be here all the time. We need to pass on the torch to the young people. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbai. As a member of the youth, I really appreciate that you want to give us the voice and the platform, because I think that I agree with you, and it's very important that we are the ones to bring forward a new generation, a new change. So I really appreciate that. That is what you've said.
Thank
Guruji,
you.
what do you have to say in terms of that?
I have a lot to say because of what's happening in our community. As Raj Anna has directly said about our youth's involvement in our temples and religious organizations, we should give them the platform. On condition also, they should be guided, which is most important. Because the youth of today will take it in a different way of what to do and how to do. They will want to do it their way and no other way. So sometimes you have to take a free way also. Right. At the Karmariman temple, we have started this program 12 years ago. And we have been training our own South African students that have come forward to become priests, to understand certain sastras, to repeat certain mantra, to perform certain rituals and ceremonies, which will be in aid and which will be a good aid for our entire community. There were temples that didn't have priests, and we have sent out these students to go and perform certain rituals and ceremonies, and they were well received. They need to be enticed by certain religious scriptures. They need to also read. Reading will be able for you. A good reader will be able to comprehend certain important issues. In South Africa, we have a situation because of our rich heritage our forefathers have brought to South Africa, which we have to respect. But time has changed, where the youth have realized certain issues. They have been visiting certain temples, certain ashrams. They have got the necessary interest, and they have been going forward and learning and practicing these type of rituals and ceremonies. But it's not only rituals and ceremonies that make our religion. It's your discipline. It's your personal discipline that will be able to invoke your spiritual knowledge, spiritually uh, rechargeable. You become rechargeable. Hinduism is very flexible. Whether we take a tray of fruits to the temple or one flower, it's accepted by the divine. How we offer in it is important. So there's also a lot of samskaras, there's a lot of sastras which will invite enough positive vasanas for us to live as a healthy, prosperous community. Our youth needs to come forward. Our youth needs to see the light in front of them, which is which is utmost importance. And don't forget to pay respect to your elders, whether it's your family or it's an outsider. But you should pay respect to your family, to your elders. From there, you will get good knowledge. We say jnanam, you get good wisdom. So, good discipline will introduce some good wisdom in you. You will be able to learn properly, even in your school, even in tertiary education. And this is most important. We need the youth to come. Hinduism asks us to invite ourselves. We don't invite anybody. You need to come yourself. You need to take interest. As I said, even if you sweep the temple yard, is a blessing for you. So these type of activities is important. We would like many of our youth to come forward and get training as far as priesthood is concerned, to learn certain rituals and ceremonies so we can go out there and help our community. That is more important, Yashmika.
Gee, thank you, Guru. We have about 2 minutes left. We have one question that just popped up on the screen. Rajbhai, could you very quickly address if you think that families can play a better role to preserve our environment as well as prayers?
Yes, definitely. Families, today it is such a modern society with parents going to work and coming back from work and dropping off the kids at the creche. These kids are not getting knowledge of how the environment works. For instance, if we perhaps teach a child on how to plant a tree, that is contributing to the earth. You understand? So one day we will have trees not only for our generation, for generations to come. But also, again, if you take a child to the beach and you will explain to the child, you cannot pollute the beach. But because of modern society, today parents, and it's a fact, Jasmika, that parents do not spend so much of time teaching little kids on how the mother earth works. We cannot throw everything. It's like a human being. If you throw everything onto a human being, surely that human being is going to suffocate and die. So by giving that human being space or not polluting the earth will awaken again and provide for all that live in it. Thank you, Jasmika.
Thank you, Rajbhai. In closing, I'd just like to say Dhanyavad, Nandri, and thank you to everyone for joining us on Dharma Samvad today. Special thanks goes to Guru Shivaraman as well as Raj Palevai. We hope that you enjoyed this enlightening session and continue to have a blessed month of Purtassi. Dhanyavad.
Thank you.
Vanakkam, Nandri.